Hey everyone. So, I know that this view of me is getting really boring with, my room in the background, but that's all I have to work with right now. Having the laptop is a little limiting, I can't even talk, when it comes to vlogging, so I am sorry. But today, or tonight I should say, or this morning, because it is 12:58 on Friday morning, September 21st, Friday, and I have some thoughts. So, I jotted some things down today on receipt tape here from the GAP, and these are my thoughts. Alright, so had a decent day today at class, my last day of class of the week, Thursday, and I had work at 3 o'clock, so I went to work, and so, I'm in a good mood, I'm at work, whatever, and let's be honest, sometimes you're at work and you're not in a good mood, and that's okay, right? You just still have to do your job, though. So, I'm at work, and a friend of mine, a friend that I had met in, 2004, he was a freshman, and I was a sophomore. I was an RA in my building, and he happened to be gay, and he was my suite mate, which means at Towson, 4 of the buildings on campus, they're suite style, so it's 2 rooms and then a bathroom in the middle, and you share the bathroom in the middle, right? So, I don't want to share too much, but we ended up hanging out and hooking up. Whatever that defines as hooking up. Use your imagination. So whatever. And then he ended up having a boyfriend later on, and so we just kind of didn't hang out anymore. We chatted every once in a while, and that's fine. And then
it's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock, by the way. My computer just said so. That happens every once in a while on my vlogs. Sorry. So then he ended up actually going to Australia on study abroad for an entire year, and I didn't really honestly realize he was back. But he walked into the Gap tonight, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Chris, what's up? Hey, how are you?" And we chatted for a little bit. I gave him a hug. It was really good to see him. He's totally adorable and a really nice guy, and honestly, somebody that I think I would be interested in dating, and also, somebody that I enjoyed hanging out with when we spent time together. Well, he was like, "Is Josh here?" And I was like, "How do you know him?" In my head, I was thinking "Oh, how do you know him?" I was like, "Oh yeah, he's in the front of the store." And he was like, "Oh, we have a little dinner date tonight." And I was like, "Really? That's interesting." So I was like, "Oh yeah, he's up front." And he was like, "All right, well, I will talk to you later." Well, Josh is one of my managers at Gap. I mean, not that this is a scandal or anything, but it kind of hurt. I kind of think I'm not attracted to Josh, and I think that, I'm cuter than Josh, and I'm more fun, and I don't know. It was just kind of weird, this uncomfortable situation that, all of a sudden he's going on a little dinner date with my manager, and, that he knows my manager really well, and, we have sort of a history together, and I don't know. It kind of hurt. It sucked, and then there was some drama between my manager. Not drama. Okay. So my manager and I kind of was, he was just like, "Oh, I really had a good time with, Chris at dinner and blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "I really don't want to hear about it." To be quite honest, I was like, "We have some history." I was like, "We have some history." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I know." And then I was like, "Well, then why would you talk about it? Why would you say, 'Oh, I really like this guy,' and da 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 da?" If it were me, I would just be like, if someone had asked, "Oh, how was dinner?" I would say, but I wouldn't necessarily, divulge the information. And then, he continued to talk about it, "Oh, Chris just text messaged me, da 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 da." I don't get what, if there's, a competition between the two of us that, he feels the need to tell me, but it was really disappointing, and I was hurt by it, and I told him, and he got pissed off. Whatever. But I don't know. It just kind of leads into this, like, what's wrong with me? Why don't men find me either attractive or, you know, why don't men think that I'm, like, worth it? I don't know. I'm just really frustrated with being single because I feel like I've grown a lot this past year and I'm, like, ready to be in a relationship, but it's just not happening and it sucks. It's shitty. So, anyways, all of that aside, moving on to the next conversation. Okay, so in this area in Maryland, Pikesville, there's a large Jewish community. And my mother is Jewish and Italian, half and half. I'm gonna sign because that's what I do sometimes. So my mom's half and half, and then my father is British and Polish, so I'm like a fourth of everything. And so Pikesville is a very Jewish area, and I see these, you know, Jewish couples, you know, the guys with the black dress pants, and like button-up dress shirts, and the belt with the tassels. I'm so not a good Jew. I apologize. I don't know what it's called. And then they have the yarmulkes on, and all of this, and then the women with their long skirts, and, you know, their stockings on, and their shoes, and then their, you know, usually long sleeve shirts, their hair pulled back off of their face with a headband, or maybe a hat of some sort, or like their hair in a ponytail, but like, they're dressed fabulously. It's just, you know, more Orthodox Jewish. Well, I was thinking tonight, like, it's crazy, like, they're so young. They look so young, like teenagers, or like, you know, late teens, like 18, 19, and then like early 20s. And it's like, these couples are married, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, you know, what the root of it is like doing it for religious reasons or not. I'm really a bad Jew. I don't know all the ways that it works, but it's just crazy. Like, these women have like sick, like, diamond rings on, and they're married, and they're so young. They're younger than me. I'm 22 years old. I can't even imagine being married right now. Like, this is the time you date, and then eventually find someone that you want to be married, and maybe you're married by, like, you know, your late 20s, early 30s. Well, that's gay world. Well, gay world, you know, most men and women, well, gay men don't really get married. Well, not that we can get married in many places, and that's a whole separate issue that we'll get into later, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy, like, but also at the same time, it kind of makes me sad, because, like, you know, they have these relationships, regardless of whether they're, like, healthy, good relationships, like, you know, they're supporting one another, and it's kind of nice to see. And sometimes I wonder if I was straight, if my life would be different, you know. Well, clearly it would be different, but I mean, like, if I would be married or, like, more settled than I am now. So that was making me think tonight at work. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm like up to 8 minutes and 30 seconds, so I really gotta speed it along. Okay, and then my, like, last final thing of this video is, you know, when I'm at work, like, yes, we're required to say hello to everyone and make everybody feel welcome. It's all about the shopping experience, right? But I just have to say, when you're in a retail store and somebody greets you and says, hello, how are you today? If you need help with anything, just let me know. Say hello back and be like, okay, I will. I'm just browsing. Or, yes, I do have a question. I hate when people are just like, they ignore you, one, or two, they're like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. Did you just speak real words? Was that, hey, how are you? Or, oh, no, I'm fine, thanks? Like, enunciate. Like, I don't understand people that just don't, like, they don't respond, or, I'm gonna sound like a snot, but, like, you don't have proper English. Like, you don't speak well. Like, speak clearly. Speak loud enough that I can hear you. Other than deaf people, because I am a deaf studies major, I understand. There was actually a deaf customer in my store tonight. I said hello, and he said, I was like, hello, how are you this evening? And he actually signed good, which I understood, and I was like, oh, good. You know, if you need help, ask me. You know, it's fine. I can help you. Now, that was some sim-comming. Look it up online. I'm sure it's there, but I'm not really supposed to sign and talk at the same time. But whatever, I just did. So I chatted with him, I helped him if he needed anything, whatever. But other people, hearing people, fucking say hello. Don't be so fucking rude. Anyways, so this is a little bit of a random blog, just thinking out loud. Leave some comments, subscribe, I would love it. In the bar over here. Oh, I got it right, it was score. Over here to your left, no, wait, your right, my left. Or whatever. I guess it's both of our rights it ends up being. Anyways, YouTube's gonna cut this off, so I gotta say goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. Love you, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for your comments.